Hello guys, welcome back to a new episode to What If. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Probably I've done a lot of videos today, but you know me, I have a free day, and after that, after I finished loaded, I probably would have done part 5 more, like as soon as that, but my internet shut down, so yeah. But since today I'm gonna be free for a whole day, I might start publishing a lot of What If. So maybe I might have time for What If Naruto was on Uchiha Part 11. What if Naruto was created his own village? And through Anbu part, I haven't created Part 2 script. So hold on, like the Uchiha part. The Uchiha part, I haven't even finished that one. But the What if Naruto created his own village? That one is soon gonna be finished. I either continue it if everyone wants to, like, vote that in the comments, and also I'll be taking new what if ideas. But there will be one thing I can't really do. I could do rest of what ifs, like Death Note what ifs, but the one about My Hero Academia, I won't be able to do since I haven't watched My Hero Academia yet. I haven't, so I really can't. So you understand. But I could create Dragon Ball Z ones. I might. Just if you allow me, you understand, okay? Please understand this. I can't really do a lot of stuff like that. You understand, okay? So, My Academia I haven't finished. Demon Slayer, I can do some what ifs about that. But I'll still have to go through the series, and since there's only season 1 on Netflix, and I have to get another app, so just chill, just hang on to your seatbelts. There'll be other anime what ifs here. I can also do Code Geass. Oh yeah, I'm already doing that, but I'm gonna ditch the one of what if Naruto was able to teleport into Code Geass, because that one was pretty hard to do. So I'm just gonna do a what if Shiro had the Sharingan. That one I might do. Yeah, so let's stop with all the planning and stuff that I have to do for the schedule. And let's get into this what if. Like, subscribe, turn on notification, please. And let's fasten our seatbelts, passengers, and we're gonna go a world trip to the anime what if called What If Naruto Was a Dragon. We start this what if off with Naruto and the bridge builder arriving at his house. The bridge builder opens his house, then with Team 7 behind him as he opens his house, as his daughter, I think her name was Diana. I think it was Diana or Inouari. No, that's the kid's name. I'll just call her Diana. Not Diana. Yeah, Tazuna's daughter. I'll just call her Tazuna's daughter. That's it. I don't remember the name. Okay, it's been a very long time since I finished Naruto. Like, I probably might rewatch the series, but I'm stuck watching other anime. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So let's get into this what if. We're gonna get into this what if. We're gonna start this what if when Tazuna opens the door as he does that. Inowari comes hugging his father. As Inowari then says, comes hugging his grandpa. She says, Grandpa. As then Inowari notices that there's Naruto carrying Kakashi as Tazuna's daughter comes and hugs him as his father, you're home. As she lets him in as she then says, who are they? As Tazuna tells her that says, these are the people who brought me here. Who brought me and protected me from assassins who try to attack me. They're also here to stop Gato and kill him. As Naruto goes and shakes Tazuna's daughter's hands and he walks in, Kakashi, who's sorta almost knocked out, but as soon as he enters, he just falls to the ground and he's like, oh, I'm really sorry about this. It's just that we encountered some assassins who were sent by Gato to kill him. And it was a really rough fight. As Sasuke walks in and he says, my name is Sasuke Uchiha. As Sakura says, my name is Sakura Haruno. Naruto says, I'm just Naruto Uzumaki. As he walks into the house and bows. I don't know what he does, but we skip a day later as Kakashi is outside trying to teach them the tree walking exercise. As he climbs up a tree and says, this is what you're gonna learn today. As Kakashi lands upside down off the tree as Naruto walks up and lands right upside down the tree. As he then says exactly what Naruto did. As he then says, yeah, as Naruto jumps down from hanging upside down and flips and lands gracefully on his feet and says, I'm gonna go and do my training. As he walks off and disappears in a bolt of lightning. And then after Sakura and Sasuke, Sasuke yells, Sakura says, that idiot, he should have stayed. He should have stayed and taught us that. As Sasuke just shakes his head as he just starts walking up the tree, as he does it relatively easy since he's been doing chakra control training. As he jumps down too and goes to train somewhere else to hone his skills. As Naruto starts training, as you could hear lightning cackling from a distance away, as you also hear fire burn. You also hear the sounds of fire and lightning cackling, as this is Sasuke and Naruto sparring. As Naruto is trying to make himself go all the way to stage 100, which at stage 100 you have to train your body really hard to the point where he can handle a whole entire lightning strike from the sky. That's what Naruto's working on. As Sasuke, he's trying to figure out a way to beat Naruto, but he can't really put fire on himself because he doesn't want to get burned. He doesn't want to get burned. Yeah, just ignore me. Okay, yeah, don't like that. It's just that my brother was playing the house was playing a song, so I just felt like singing along. So yeah, as all you could hear is cackling, clashes, kunai, and all that stuff. As Inowari keeps hearing that, as he walks outside to see what's happening, as sees Sakura walking up a tree and hanging upside down with relatively no ease, as he thinks that's cool, as he looks up and then he hears clashes. As he walks with Sakura towards where the clashes are happening, as we now see Kakashi sitting on a tree branch, and he says again, as the two fighters clash again, as Sakura and Inowari arrive, as they see Naruto and Sasuke clashing over and over and over, as Naruto has dense amount of lightning cackling around his body, as she's speeding in the fastest speed that even Inowari is so fond of it. As Naruto then clashes again with Sasuke, as Sasuke jumps back, as he keeps clashing with Naruto. As this goes on for an hour until both of them are exhausted, as Kakashi says, take a break. Let's go back to the hub. As then, Ari's like, okay, as Naruto and Sasuke are right down line, then as they then get up, as they walk, as Naruto goes and taps Inowari, as then they all disappear in a body flicker substitution while Naruto looks at Inowari and says, well, you can stay out here, kid, as he then does his cackling lightning body flicker as he sort of like substitution lightning the Inowari and him all the way to his house or cottage or whatever you want to call it. Well, I'll just call it a house. As he is happy and he says, wow, as Inowari says, wow, so cool, as he looks at Naruto admiring him. But then after he goes upstairs and then he goes inside then Naruto says, who's this Gato guy anyway? As then Inowari, the builder says the Gato, he's a man who's gone mad. He attacked their village not too long ago and killed Inowari's father. Well then, I guess we have to kill him. I guess we have to fight him and destroy him from terrorizing this village. As Inowari changes his mood set and he says, you can't kill him. I don't know who you are, but it's impossible to kill Gato. Killing Gato is a suicide mission. As Naruto then just says, suicide mission? As he then said, I lost my father and everything. As Naruto then just gets up and he's like, oh yeah, by the way, it wasn't Naruto who teleported, it was Kakashi. As Naruto gets up and he then says, as Inowari kept blabbering, kept saying, it's impossible, you guys have parents and I don't. I'm like, as Naruto then says, shut up. As Inowari says, what? As he says, shut up. You don't understand what we ninjas go through. Yeah, maybe we became fresh Genians. First of all, you have your own mother. Me and Sasuke, we don't have parents or a clan anymore. Sasuke got his parents killed by his older brother who slaughtered his whole entire clan. But he lost a lot. I get it. Kakashi lost all his teammates, friends, family, father, including his sensei. He lost a lot. Sakura still has her parents. But me, I lost more than you can imagine. I lost my whole entire family. My whole entire family gone. There's no trace of them. No trace of them on this planet. Sasuke, you still have a brother that you still blindly chase just because of revenge. Sakura, she has parents. She doesn't experience what I do. But I experience more than you do. I experience more. Every single member. You don't understand how I feel hatred every day. Any corner you turn to, there's always people trying to beat you and kill you for no direct reason, for something you can't control. How about that? As Naruto does not say that. He says the part where villagers hate you in his head. As then he walks out of the house and says, Kakashi, I'm gonna train. As he closes the door, as Kakashi then says, I'm sorry about his rudeness. As Inari is like, huh? As Kakashi then says, I'm really sorry about his rudeness. As then Inari is like, what? As he then says, it's just something that triggers Naruto whenever he sees people complaining about family and parents. He usually happens because Naruto in the village, he has a really tough life. He has a really tough life. Back when he was 8 years old, the villagers would. Back when he was probably your age 3, right? Back when he was 3 years old, all the villagers would chase him, beat him up, taunt him. That's the exact life Naruto went through. For no reason, he was kicked out of stores, taunted, beaten up, and almost beaten to a bloody pulp and near death. That's why you never see any trace of hope or happiness in his eyes. And he hates when people complain about parents. He actually has none. His mother and father died in a tragic accident on a mission. They all died. His whole entire family, his whole entire clan. I don't know. No one knows what happened to them, but they just disappeared from the Leaf Village after his parents were dead. As everyone feels sad, as Kakashi explains his entire life, and he says, because the truth is, I used to be watching Naruto when he was a kid, and back then, the village elders would send multiple Anbu on missions due to the civilian council asking for that, as the villagers would beat him up, almost burning his house 10 times, as everyone just hears how Naruto's life was, as they just shut up, as they never realized how Naruto felt, that he could have decided to turn, as Sakura then says, so you're saying Naruto could have decided to turn on the leaf and massacre everyone? Yes, but the truth is Naruto still had the willpower to say that he will still protect the leaf. And that's when Guts, as Tazuna says, that's guts for just one kid. One kid alone. For what? For what? It was for vengeance. Due to back then, there was something called. Back then, in a long time ago, the day Naruto was born, there was something called the Nine Tails attack. The Nine Tails attacked the village and killed him, so everyone believes he's the Nine Tails reincarnation. As they feel even more sorry for Naruto. As Naruto's training, he doesn't meet Hakuin this time, so yeah. As the next day happens, as Naruto stays in, as Team 7 heads to the bridge, Naruto's sleeping. As Naruto hears a scream, as he wakes up, puts on his ninja, wakes up, has lightning cackling around him, as he rushes to what the scream was, as he sees Inowari and her mother and his mother who were getting confronted by two of Gato's goons who were trying to kidnap them to try to get Tazuna to stop building that bridge. As then one of the goons said, the lady looks fine. How about we could have a little fun with her back at the base. As Naruto gets disgusted at this, as he gets lightning cackling around him, as he says, stage 20, as he disappears, and if you're a kid, please cover your ears. If you're a little younger, like under 10, like you can handle gore and stuff. As he slices through them, instantly cutting them down. As they fall down, blood splattering everywhere. Like, please, the script's a bit wrong. As he falls down, as they both fall down, as Naruto says, both of you, run. As Inowari is getting scared, like, please don't hurt me. He's like, why would I hurt you? Why would I hurt my client's family? That's my exact mission. To protect you Tazuna and my client's family. That's it. As Naruto disappears and reappears again with some clothes and brushed teeth, and he says, "You guys return. You guys go to a friend's house or something. They're probably gonna search your house first. After they find out." As Inowari nods, as Naruto disappears in a lightning flash as he appears on the bridge in the mist, as he then sees Sasuke trapped in an ice mirror. Kakashi is battling Zabuza, and he then decides to decides to um decides to decides to make shadow clones, as he makes a ton of shadow clones to he makes a ton of shadow clones as he then yells as he then whispers as he then whispers as he then whispers Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu, as he throws a ton of cackling shurikens both at Haku that slip through his ice mirrors. As Naruto puts his hand on the floor, as he then says, "Lightning style, lightning shockwave," electrocuting, passing electricity through the shurikens to the ground, electrocuting anyone that's staying on the floor, except for his teammates, since they can sense their chakra and make the lightning avoid them. As he then starts electrocuting Haku who came out of the ice that a shuriken passed through, which started past him as the shuriken started to electrocute him constantly. As Haku starts getting electrocuted, as Zabuza feels some electricity going up his sword and electrocuting him very bad, freezing them for a brief moment until Kakashi is ready to do the finishing blow. But as soon as he's about to, Zabuza slaps his hand away as he then swings down his blade, as Naruto substitutes into the ice mirrors, as he then says, "Sasuke." As Sasuke looks at Naruto, as Naruto says, you can substitute using fire flaming body flicker out of the ice mirrors. You do know that." As Sasuke realizes what Naruto meant, as Naruto had put paper bombs on the mirrors while Haku was getting electrocuted, as then Naruto says, "Well, Haku, time to die." As then Naruto throws paper bomb kunai at each mirror, as Haku, when he was getting electrocuted, he sort of stopped and got slower a bit, and Naruto was able to plant a smoke bomb tag on Haku's back, as then they start to fight, as Haku jumps in a mirror, as then Naruto then makes hand signs and multiplier, as the paper smoke bomb multiplies around Haku's body as it poofs, making Haku to get out of the mirrors, as Naruto heads for him, as there's lightning cackling around, shattering the mirrors into pieces, as he then rushes through to Haku. Meanwhile, there's a sound of 1,000 birds, as Haku turns around to see Kakashi about to end Zabuza, as he's about to go and stop. But then Naruto stops him and starts breaking the mask. And since Naruto hadn't met him, he was about to bring his sword down to end Haku. As Haku then disappears, as makes a final stance as he protects Zabuza from the lightning blade, as Zabuza sees Haku and says, "My tool has protected me." As Naruto got pissed at what Zabuza said, as he runs up to Zabuza with his sword and says, "Take that back." As he is about to stab Zabuza through the heart, as Zabuza jumps up, ready to stab down on him, as Naruto disappears and kicks Zabuza right down to the ground, as he says, "Haku's not a tool, he's a person." As he gives the Takano Jutsu to Zabuza, as we hear laughter as as Gato, as we then see the silhouette of a we see the silhouette of a short man, and then we see the other silhouettes of men that look like they could fight, look like they're not friendly. In the mist, as Zabuza then says, "Gato," as Zabuza passes out from chakra exhaustion, as then Naruto says, "Gato," as then Gato steps on the bridge. "So, you finished my job for me. Thank you for finishing my job. I wasn't gonna pay them anyway. Anyone?" As he then says, I needed some money to pay these guys." As all the men that are behind him start chuckling, he then says, as he then says, "I tell you what, how about you hand over Tazuna to me?" No, Gato does not say that. I mean, he then says, "Ha ha 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 ha. You idiot Shinobi are not gonna die today for messing with me." As he then says to the goons, "Anyone who gets me Zabuza's head gets triple the amount. Anyone who gets me anyone who gets me anyone anyone who gets me the anyone who gets me Tazuno's head gets quadruple the amount." As all the men start chuckling as they roar, as then Gato steps back as they rush towards Naruto and his group. As then Naruto gets pissed. No, that doesn't. As Gato says, "Oh yeah, also bring me the girl alive." As Sakura's disgusted at what Gato just said. As then Kakashi then says, as then out of nowhere, Team 17 Kurenai and Team Asuma appear. As Gato says, "Never mind, save all the girls there." As then Kakashi then says, "Finally backup has arrived." As Gato then tells all his goons and says, "Save every single one of those ladies, I might need them." As he starts chuckling darkly. As then everyone feels a shiver as they see Naruto oozing out killer intent as he walks towards the army of goons. As then Naruto says, "How much is the cost for this bridge? Do you have materials? Do you have cleaning materials?" "Yes." "Okay." As then Naruto starts having lightning cackle around his body as he says, "Stage 30. As lightning starts cackling even deadlier and more. As he then starts cackling before he says that, the goons say, "Ha, kid, you think you can defeat an entire army?" As they start laughing, "Go back home to your mom." As then he's like, as Naruto says, I have no parents to go home to. They're already dead." As then the goons laugh, as they say, "Just stop pretending, kid, and just go home." As then Naruto then gets pissed and says, Lightning Dragon Cloak 30." As lightning cackles very deadly and dense. As then Naruto pulls out his sword. As then they start laughing as Naruto rushes towards them. As they rush towards Naruto, as Naruto starts cutting every one of them down. as it was a massacre. Everyone was shivering when they saw the death grin on Naruto's face, as the crimson red eyes glowed around while the massacre of bodies were dropping. As all the men were running, as then Naruto came back as he then raised it. No, wait, what? Shoot, that's the wrong script. That's the rough draft I tried making. Um, um, yeah, okay. Uh, Naruto. Oh, Naruto raises up his hand and says Lightning Cloak 30, as he then points his hand and puts his hand pointing towards them, puts his hand together, as he then has his index fingers both pointing at Gato's men, as he then says Lightning Dragon Cloak 30, as he then yells Lightning Style, Lightning Dragon Devour, as a ginormous lightning dragon poofed and wrapped around Naruto's right arm, as he then rushes it towards the whole entire army, as then the dragon flies off and it rampages and destroys half of the bridge, disintegrating the whole entire army to pits. Oh yeah, this was the lightning dragon that was surrounding Naruto's arm. He just technically said fire and then it just fired an explosion. Yeah, you get it. As it destroyed every single one of them, as all you could hear was men screaming for their lives, as there was fire going on, as they were trying to put it out, as then each of them eventually succumbed to their wounds. As Gato was running, as then Naruto appeared right behind Gato, as he then walked slowly, as Gato started running and running, as then after Gato was running towards to pass the Leaf Ninja, as all the Leaf Ninja were about to get him, but Naruto was following him, as the death grin on his face told them not to stop him, as he was running towards getting out of the bridge, as then Naruto then says, "It's over for you, bastard," as he then stops and then says, "Say hello to, tell the men that died," as then Gato yells, "What do you? Please don't kill me. What do you want? Money, women?" He's like, "Money, women, anything, name it." And he says, "I want the code. I want two things: the code to the vault, all the money, and I also want your life." As Gato writes the code to the vault, he says, "The second thing I want is your life." As he decapitates Gato, as Gato falls to the ground, deceased. Gato falls to the ground, deceased. As Naruto walks off from Gato, as everyone just saw how Naruto just massacred an army for no reason, as Naruto then drops to the ground, as he coughs up a bit of blood, as then after he drops down to the floor knocked out, as everyone rushes towards him, as Ino starts shaking him, crying that he might be dead or something might have happened. As Naruto wakes up and he wakes up in Tazuna's house, as Ino hugs him as Ino was beside him, as Naruto said, "Ino, what happened?" As Ino hugs him tightly and then kisses him, as everyone hears Ino shouting, as they run into the room, as they see Naruto awake, as Naruto says what is happening, as then they debrief him of the whole entire thing that happened, as Naruto wore back his clothes, as he then says, "So we're preparing to go back to the Hidden Leaf." As then all of them nodded, as then Naruto was unwrapping his bandages, as Kurenai said, "Don't unwrap them," trying to stop him, and then after Naruto ripped all of his bandages off, and he says, It's really annoying how people love putting bandages all over. As Naruto twisted around as he started to stretch, as then Naruto walked off and put on some clothes, as then everyone just looked at Naruto oddly as they arrived at the village. As Kakashi debriefs them of what happens, meanwhile Naruto goes back to his house and he puts everything down. As then after he goes outside into training on 44, as he then jumps inside and when he's trying to go to training on 44, he's stopped by a tuning. As a tuning says, "What are you doing here for?" And Naruto's like, "Obviously here to train." As the tuning says, "You can't train here. This training ground is reserved for the tuning exams." As Naruto just says, who cares about the tuning?" As Naruto says, "I'm just here to train." As the tuning then said, "You're not supposed to be training here anyway. You're a genin. And plus, you can't even handle the animals in here." As then Naruto then says, "You really?" As he grabs the tuning, and as then after he grabs the tuning's arm and twists him, flipping him over, he's like, "Does that seem like a genin who can't handle himself in a straight fight?" As the tuning then gets in a fighting stance. "Oh really? Let's see." As 2 seconds pass, as the 2 minutes later, the tuning's knocked out on the floor. As the tuning gets up, as he says, "You're powerful. Are you sure you're a genin?" As he then says, "Yes, I am." As he walks inside the gates, as he jumps, as he does his regular stuff, he starts to fight dangerous animals. As all the tunings and jonins are watching Naruto, as they see through the ball, the same kind of ball that Hokage has, and they see Naruto destroying and leaving a bloody massacre path through the way, as he's cutting down beast after beast after beast. As each beast tries running, but he cuts them all down. As then Chunin says we should stop him before he actually wipes out every single creature in this forest, in this dangerous forest. As a ginormous centipede comes to kill Naruto, but he cuts that down. As then after Naruto says lightning style, lightning mega shockwave, as he shocks every animal that's near 2 kilometers. 2 meters away from let's just say he shocks every animal that's near him, killing them instantly, shocking them a bit, knocking them out. But the dangerous animals Naruto kills. As we then skip to Naruto, who's walking with Konohamaru. We skip to Naruto, who's walking on the streets with Ino. As then out of nowhere, Konohamaru and his gang pop up with wooden sword, saying, "Naruto Uzumaki, I challenge you to a duel." As then Naruto says, "Oh, okay," as he pulls out his sword that's still in his hilt, still in the sheath, as he then says, sorry about this, as Konohamaru's wearing a mask, as then Konohamaru tries slashing, as Naruto knocks the sword out of his hand and points the sheath of the sword at Konohamaru. As Konohamaru says, "I accept my loss, but I will still defeat you," trying to put sand in Naruto's eyes as he tries rushing in. As Naruto grabs the wooden sword, as Naruto knocks away the wooden sword with his hand, as he then says, "Nice try, Konohamaru." As Konohamaru saying, "Naruto, teach me." As Naruto says, "Are you sure about that?" As he then starts shuffling Konohama's hair as Konohama starts laughing, as him and his friends are following him. As then they're running, as Konohama is running, as then Konohama says, "Oh, it seems like you have a girlfriend there, boss." As then Naruto's like, "Yeah." As Hino blushes, as then yeah, I might sound a little tired because I might have ate my mom's special food, like it was really good. It was really good. Thanks, man, if you're watching this. Thanks for the McDonald's. Yeah, so of course I won't probably watching this because I checked it, but Naruto would walk away as he would walk with Konohama. As Konohama then stops as he bumps into Kankuro as Kankuro looks down at him as he grabs Konohamaru by the head, and then he says, "Watch where you're going, brat." And he's like, "Watch where you're going, brat. Let me teach you a lesson about bumping into people." As he's about to hit Konohamaru until Naruto stops him, "Let the boy go." As he then says in a death tone, as Kankuro then says, "Why should I? I'm trying to teach him a lesson to respect people and not try to bump into him." And he says, "That boy you're holding up here, if you don't let him go, you will start a war between the sand and the leaf." Even though the sand and the leaf alliance is getting torn out, it doesn't allow you to hold to try to hit the third Hokage's son, the third Hokage's grandson. As then Kankuro says, "I don't give a crap as his grandson. He should train his grandson to not bump into people." As Naruto reappears, grabs Konohamaru, and then he says, "Next time, don't do anything stupid." As Kankuro's like, "You wanna fight?" As then Naruto disappears and grabs Kankuro by the. As Naruto disappears, as he after grabbing Konohamaru, he lets him go off. As then he goes with Ino, who Ino holds onto his arm and says, as Kankuro says, "Huh, I feel bad for that girl. He gets a weakling." As then Kankuro then says, "Hey girl, you wanna be with me instead of that loser?" As Ino looks at him, as then Naruto comes disappearing and reappearing right in front of Kankuro, holding him up in the air. And he said, "If you ever say that again, I will cut it. I will not only kill. I will not kill you, but I will cut it off." As Kankuro then gulps in manners, and he says, "Have a try cutting it off, because then you'll start a war with the sand and me. I'm the second oldest. I'm the second oldest son of the third Kazekage." As then the fourth Kazekage, Kankuro explains, as Naruto then says, "Well, he should raise his kids properly to stop disrespecting people in outside villages and almost start wars." As Kankuro gets pissed at this, as what Naruto says, as he says, "Are you trying to fight?" As Naruto holds Kankuro up to his feet, as Kankuro says, "Okay, please, like, oh, I'm sorry." As Gaara says, Kankuro, "You're a weakling. You're a disgracement to the sand dude." As then Naruto looks at him, as both of their eyes lock. As we skip to the preliminaries, you're probably wondering why we're skipping so far. Well, for the Force of Death, nothing really changes, except that there's less monsters due to the current training regimens Naruto does, and secondly, since Orochimaru did attack Sasuke, and thirdly, nothing would really change, as in, even though Naruto had a boost in power, he won't be able to destroy Orochimaru. So, yeah. He'll still get knocked out. And plus, I didn't write the script about the preliminary, so yeah. As we then see, no, we go to the finals because there's nothing to discuss about the preliminaries, only that everything goes exactly the same, except for Sakura and Ino's fights. And yeah, like technically almost everything goes the same. Akiba gets his butt knocked out. Yeah, so it's technically like that. As we start the preliminaries, as we start the finals, yeah, sorry I'm skipping too much a lot. Well, it's just because I didn't write the parts for the script about that, so yeah, I couldn't really pop up a base in my head, so yeah. As Naruto as then we see the finals as Neji and Naruto are about to face off. As Neji says, "Surrender, Uzumaki, for it's your fate to lose to me, and bow to my feet." As Naruto shrugs, and then as soon as the proctor says charge, start, as Naruto disappears from Neji's vision in a cloud of lightning, as Naruto says, lightning 40, as he did train with Jiraiya to learn lightning 40 mode, as he then rushes he rushes at Neji pretty fast, as he goes at Neji, as Neji barely notices but feels a sharp punch connect to his jaw, as it sends him flying back, as he bumps into grounds, as he hits the wall, making a crater, as Neji then gets up coughing up a bit of blood and says, "I underestimate you." Activating the Byakugan, and then Naruto disappears, Neji not even be able to see him, as then he gets kicked again, as then he gets sent flying backwards, as then Neji then gets in a defensive stance, wiping blood from his mouth, as then he then says it's your destiny to lose with me, as Naruto starts the Taka no Jutsu, as then he rushes at Neji and knocks Neji out. As Sasuke's fight goes the same. Sasuke's fight goes relatively the same. Shikamaru's and the rest of the fights. As the proctors and judges are pretty impressed at Shikamaru and Naruto and Sasuke, seeing that they have way more potential, as then, out of nowhere, while Sasuke is fighting Gaara, feathers start raining from the sky, as Naruto says Genjutsu, as then he releases it, as there's a clash of ninjas in the arena, as a sound ninja heads towards Naruto. No, sand. Since they did some interrogation and digging, they found out Naruto was the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, so the Sand Ninja gets ready to end Naruto so that it will be easy for them to win, as Naruto disappears and he knocks the Sand Ninja out, as he then starts running through ninjas, as Gaara starts transforming in the middle of the arena, as he then transforms fully into Shikaku due to everyone protecting him, as Shikaku appears. As soon as this happened, we skip to an unknown location, outskirts of the village. Should we? As a man nods, gray hair and gray eyes with slits in them, says the other man with blue hair, and then there's other men with blue hair, blue eyes and slits in them. As they nod, as then after he then yells, "Get the men ready." As out of nowhere an explosion happens, as then you see people jumping from the walls, as they start running towards the shinobi cutting any sound and sand and ninja they see. As then all the leaf shinobi's eyes widen. As then they back away, seeing the symbols on their backs. As then out of nowhere, a bunch of 10 shinobis from the odd shinobis come. As Naruto pulls out his sword, he's like, "Who are you?" As a gray-haired man walks up to him. As he then bows and says, "Lord Naruto, you are a new clan head. Or should I say, Naruto Namikaze Uzumaki. Keep this a secret from everyone." As then Naruto chuckles and he's like, "So you're the Namikaze clan?" As he's like, "Huh, I got sense on the clan head. Destroy every single sound and sand ninja." As the man nods, as he says, "My name is Tenju Namikaze." As all the shinobi start rushing and wiping out sand from sound, as he then says, "Dragon transformation!" As a giant dragon pops up out of the arena, as he then opens his mouth, as he then fires a blast of fire, as it burns half of the army of sand and sound, as Shikaku's trying to destroy it, as Naruto then links up with Kurama. As this time he doesn't have the toad summoning, because he didn't train with Jiraiya. As Kurama says, "Naruto, do it." As Kurama fist bumps Naruto, as Naruto starts to glow, as he glows orange, as Kurama says, "This is the time," as he instructs Naruto on what to do, as Naruto starts fighting, as this is the only time he's gonna activate KCM, only KCM 1, as he starts running, as he jumps onto the Shikaku, ready to destroy it, as then after he boxes it and uses lightning to enhances his fighting abilities, as he continues using that, as he starts making swipes and slashing half of the Shikaku's arm off, using the massive strength of Kurama. As then after Naruto says, "Level stage 40!" he yells, "49!" As then a ginormous explosion happens of a thunderball, as he runs towards the giant Shikaku. As the giant Shikaku feels the immense power. Orange lightning cackling around Naruto now, as he jumps up, as then after Naruto starts yelling, as he sees that Shikaku's about to stomp on Ino, as then Naruto yells, as he forms into a ginormous dragon, slapping Shikaku, as then everyone is surprised to see what is happening, as then Naruto is on top of this dragon. As then he says, "What is this?" As he then sees another thing inside Naruto's mindscape, as is the shape of a dragon, and says, You're my kin. I'm inside of you since when you were born. It happens to all Namakazes. You put me outside in the real world. That's what I'm able to do." As he then puts out his fist, as Kurama puts his out, as in Naruto fist bumps both of them. As in the real world, a big light shines, shouting everyone's light, as Naruto pops out of the light, as he's wearing something different. Purple, he has blue around him, lightning cackling seriously densely, as his eyes are more slittered, as it seems like his body is now looking like gills and stuff, as he then roars really loudly, as he flies towards the Shikaku, ready to slice it, as he slices it in half with one swipe, as then he starts hitting Shikaku, as the dragon starts to hit Shikaku multiple times, as then Naruto then jumps onto Shikaku, as he punches Gaara in the face, sending him flying. As Shikaku shouts no, while Naruto grabs the scroll and throws it up, as he then says, sealing Bijujutsu. As he seals Shikaku away, as Gaara drops to the floor, drops, as Naruto catches him, and lays him down, as all the sound and Sand Shinobi turn away from the Leaf Pony and point their weapons at Naruto, as they say, surrender, surrender now, you're to come to us. They're gonna be make a fine specimen as Naruto knocks all of them back, as he walks forward, as then he jumps onto the Hokage's booth of the academy roof as he smashes through the barrier, landing on the two Edo Tenseis about to hit the Hokage, crushing them in the process. As he looks at Orochimaru, as he disappears and kicks Orochimaru out of the barrier, as he lands as the dragon grabs Orochimaru, slashing him across his eye and face, making a big gush, as Orochimaru falls back down into the inside the barrier, as Naruto then yells at what Orochimaru tried to do, as Orochimaru tries to make his sword come and stab through Hiruzen and go through Naruto, as Naruto grabs the sword, as he then grabs the sword and throws it at Orochimaru, stabbing through his two arms, making them completely useless, as he opens up another scroll and he says, sealing chakra. Sealing away Orochimaru's chakra forever, as then Naruto stops this crazy amount of chakra as he just falls to the ground and falls unconscious, as Hiruzen looks at Naruto, as all the shinobi and Anbu then come in, seeing a passed out Naruto and a Hiruzen hovering over him, as Hiruzen grabs Naruto, holding him on his back as then out of nowhere Namikaze pops in, as he says, Hiruzen, I'll take it from here. As then out of nowhere, medical ninjas start healing Hiruzen, as 2 days later, Naruto is healed and perfectly fine, as he's called to the Hokage's office with Shikamaru, Sasuke, Neji, and Tenten. Oh no, not Tenten. And Sasuke, I meant. As they walk inside the office and present themselves into the council room. As the Fire Daimyo and the council look at all of them. As the Daimyo says, are these them? Yes, it's him. As the Daimyo says, which one of you is Naruto Uzumaki? Naruto looks around and raises his hand, as he then says, Naruto Uzumaki, as then the daimyo then says, I'll be giving you your ranks. As Shinobi says, the Hokage will be giving you your ranks. As the Hokage says, Shikamaru Nara, I shall give you the rank of Chunin, High Chunin, Sasuke Uchiha, Mid Chunin, Naruto Uzumaki, Mid Jonin. Since you have the power to be a high-ranking Jonin, since due to the results of the Chunin exams, you're special operative Chunin Low Jonin, meaning if you do better on a mission, you have the chance to become a Jonin. As Naruto bows, as he takes the Chunin uniform, as then after he puts the Chunin vest on, as then he puts the headband metal on his arm of the sweater, as then he puts on his mask, puts the hoodie on, and then after that the Chunin vest is open like a flat jacket. As then Naruto then says, well, this is fun. wearing the tuning vest, jacket, sweater the Hokage gave him. As then he walks off. He walks off. He walks off inside. He walks off outside. As he walks outside, he then spins away. As soon as he does he then goes to meet up with his team. So does Sasuke and Shikamaru. As they do, they then walk inside. As then they see that everyone is celebrating. As Naruto then says, huh. As then they see everyone in a barbecue restaurant celebrating how they did on their tuning exams. As Naruto and Shikamaru walks in, Sasuke wearing his tuning vest. As then Naruto holding a tuning vest on his back. As then they walk in and say hi. As everyone is surprised and starts cheering. As Kakashi says, "I'm so proud of my students." As then out of nowhere, a dude appears. As he then says, "Lord Naruto, you are needed in the clan's elder meeting." As then Naruto's sweat drops. You're telling me that Naruto's sweat drops? He's like, clan elder meeting? Wait, there's also such things as clan elders? As an ambush shows up, Naruto Uzumaki, Lord Namikaze, you are required in the council room for all the clan heads to meet. As Naruto says, what? As he then says, can I have someone else go? He's like, nope, you're strictly required there. As Naruto's sweat drops and he's like, as then he starts walking off. As then Naruto flips back down onto the ground and says, phew, at least I get to avoid that. I don't want to deal with the council. Anymore. As everyone looks at Naruto in a confused motion. As then everyone's jaw is at the floor except for the Jonin senseis. As everyone looks at Ino and looks at Naruto and they're like, Naruto, did he just say you're a clan head? As Naruto says yes. I'm the clan head to the Namikaze clan. The dragon clan that possesses a Kike Genkai. The deadliest one. Since the whole entire Shikaku defeating, me almost killing Orochimaru, I've been constantly called to the council meeting. And I don't know, I've been declared a bingo S-class shinobi on the bingo book now. And now the stone wants me dead since they think I'm way too powerful. And since I have a big resemblance to my father, the 4th Hokage, so that's why. As then their jaws drop to you, you're the 4th Hokage's son? Yes. Since that, now the Stone Village wants me dead. Now I have to have a freaking talk with the Kazekage now. Secondly, I have to be handling the Leaf Trade route since my clan now controls the border. Everything is just worse. And now I got a stack of paperwork. As then the Ambu comes back, taps Naruto on the shoulder. As then Naruto's like, hello, old friend, Tenzo. As Tenzo, aka Yamato, says, Naruto, in a very deep voice, try to trick me with the clone? As then Naruto starts running for his life. As Tenzo releases a wood, he's grabbing Naruto and he's like, hey! As Naruto starts screaming, stop! As Tenzo starts grabbing Naruto as Naruto's like, why? He sobs, and then after he gets sent to the council room and he's like, as then Naruto poofs using a lightning substitution as he pops up in the chair again and says, hello, fine, I'm here. As Hiruzen says, finally, Naruto, you came. As then the daimyo sits at the head as Naruto stands in front of him. Stands in front of the long table as the daimyo says, You're Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Son of Minito Namikaze. Huh. Yes. That's definitely you. Well, Naruto, for your efforts in battling in the Battle of Shikaku by sealing the Shikaku tightly in and almost killing Orochimaru, but able almost killing Orochimaru but escaped. As then Naruto says, yeah. As Naruto says, yes, yes, Daimyo, yes, my lord. Yes, I did try doing that. The only thing I was able to I was able to successfully seal his chakra away instead of his soul. Meaning Orochimaru cannot revive himself or do anything. He's completely hopeless, and the only person he might go to is Tsunade Senju. As the daimyo says, very correct. That's his only next move, so I was about to say that we can go track Tsunade, bring her back to the village, lure Orochimaru in and kill him there, that spot. As the daimyo then says, well, Naruto, I want you to keep this a secret, but I'm offering you to become a part of the Guardian 12. Like, Guardian 12, like one of those people like Asuma Sensei. Asuma Sensei used to be a former member like him. Yeah. As Naruto says, I greatly accept that honor, but I can't leave. I have my clan to run, and I can't really leave alone. And secondly, it's gonna be hard to be running two things at the same time for me. As as the daimyo says, I know you're gonna turn it down, so that's why I'm allowing your clan to reinstate themselves in the leaf. But your clan has to promise one thing: they'll be watching the border. Like, well, that's fair cut of sheer. That's a fair cut of sheer. That's a fair cut of sheer. And does that mean we have to handle trading? As they nod. As then Naruto's then looks down in shame, and he's like, oh, no, no, no. As he then looks down in shame, saying, I'm gonna have a lot of paperwork. As the daimyo says, the true reason why I called you here is to thank you for protecting the leaf. And also, the Hokage and also the council members then say, Naruto Uzumaki, is it okay? You will join the Ambu Black Ops. Naruto's like, as Naruto looks confused, Ambu Black Ops. What is that? As then, it's like, oh, is it one of those dudes who always wear the mask, face covers, and never show their faces? One of them? Yeah. As then Danzo says, I suggest he joins the route. He would be better off. As the daimyo says, well, yes, he could. As then Naruto's like, wait, what do you mean? Are there two factions in there? As then Naruto says, like, is there two factions? As Danzo says, there's the root. As the daimyo says, there's the root, and then there's the Hokage's the Ambu Black Ops, controlled by the Hokage. I'll go with the Hokage. I'll go with the Hokage's one. It's more special and more fun, but you have to be a Jonin. I'm already a Chunin, and I can defeat the Shikaku, so there's no point. As the Hokage says, well, I go with that. As he snaps his finger, as then he throws Naruto a scroll. As then Naruto then sees the Ambu clothing. As then he then says, oh, my size. As then after Naruto poofs his clothes. Naruto switches places with his clothes and the Ambu clothes. As he's like, man, they didn't know they were cool. As then everyone is confused and surprised, and he's like, ooh, I can keep my sword, right? As the Hokage nods. As then Naruto has the black cloak. As he still has the Namikaze symbol on it, referring to a clan head who's in the Ambu. As Naruto puts on a mask a mask that shows that shows a fox. As he then says 1,000, he disappears. As then before he leaves, an Anbu engraves a mark on his shoulders. Naruto's like, oh shoot. As Naruto pops up back to his team, as then Naruto looks around as the Hokage nods and says, "I give you permission to take off your mask." As then Naruto says, "Okay." As then he takes off his mask and puts it down as Kakashi's like, "Wait, Naruto, you just joined the Anbu?" As he's like, "Yep, I'm in the Black Ops now. I don't know what they wanted. Yes, now I'm a freaking captain of the flippin' Anbu." As Naruto just says, and then he sits down more casually. As he switches clothes again, just instantly snaps. As then he puts it in a scroll. As Hiruzen says, well, on the Anbu you'll be doing mainly S-rank missions since you're a captain. Secondly, you'll also be doing reconnaissance, espionage, and other stuff. As the Hokage then says, subscribe, like, hit all notification bells on this channel, and it will help, and you may have good luck on your math test. Just joking, it's just me saying that. As now it's time for me to log off.